Welcome to New Zealand Rugby, where sportsmanship, strength, and Kiwi pride come together. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the top plays and the latest hot news from the field. Selection is key. All Blacks need clarity and depth ahead of South Africa clash. Squad selection is a crucial factor that can determine the success or failure of any team. After an unconvincing opening match, it's clear that Scott Robertson must reassess how he assembles his lineup to fully unlock the potential of the All Blacks. With the team's proud history and proven class, fans are expecting some strategic tweaks that can help them bounce back stronger in the matches to come. Following a 41-24 win over Argentina, a solid result, though not entirely convincing, questions have once again been raised around the depth of the All Black squad, particularly in the back row and midfield. Despite scoring 6 tries, New Zealand showed signs of vulnerability, with cracks beginning to appear in their overall cohesion and game management. With the Springboks looming and not much time left before the showdown at Eden Park, it's now on Robertson and his coaching team to make some tough, decisive calls. What's most concerning isn't necessarily the result against Argentina, but the way the team played, at times uncertain, disjointed, and lacking the confidence we typically expect from key playmakers. A standout example is Billy Proctor, who's copped a fair bit of criticism for his performance in the midfield. His game lacked impact, failed to link the inside and outside backs effectively, and couldn't provide the spark traditionally expected from an All Black centre. I fully agree with Marshall's assessment. The current midfield pairing just doesn't seem to be clicking. While Jordie Barrett has maintained steady form, his combination with Proctor hasn't delivered the desired outcome. In elite rugby, where every split second matters, synergy between midfielders is non-negotiable. A disconnected midfield can have a domino effect on the rest of the team, especially when coming up against the physical, disciplined defence of South Africa's Springboks. This raises the big question: should Rieko Ioane return to the midfield? It's not a straightforward call. Rieko is an explosive, high-caliber player who's previously impressed in the 13 jersey, but has been stationed on the wing for some time now. Shifting him back into the midfield right before such a massive test match brings risks. He's been out of that role for a while, and with only one more game to prepare, would he have enough time to slot back in and perform at his peak? That said, Ioane remains one of the few players in this current squad with the tools to take on the midfield role if Proctor continues to underwhelm. His speed, physicality, and international experience are assets that could be critical against a side as brutal and organised as the Boks. If Robertson ups to shift Rieko into the midfield, though, it leaves another hole out wide, an area where New Zealand is already struggling with depth. What worries me most is exactly that: squad depth. Particularly in the outside backs. Not long ago, choosing a back three for the All Blacks was a headache for all the right reasons. Talents like Sevu Reece, Caleb Clarke, and George Bridge gave us options galore. Now, we are facing a different reality: a string of injuries, patchy form, and newer players like Leroy Carter and Eminem Narawa yet to fully convince. That shortage has effectively forced Robertson to keep Ioane on the wing, where he remains a relatively safe option. But that again leaves the midfield question unanswered. It's a classic catch-22, a dilemma that reflects a broader issue. The All Blacks don't seem to have the squad depth they once did, and the current player rotation strategy doesn't appear to be working. To fix this, I believe New Zealand needs to take a longer-term view. Relying on the same core group without giving genuine chances to emerging players will only deepen the selection rut. Why not try Ioane at centre against Argentina to test the waters? Why not experiment with new combinations in lower-pressure matches? Waiting until a crunch game against the Springboks to make changes feels like a gamble we can't afford. Another noticeable issue from the Argentina match was the lack of patience and accuracy in the attacking play, particularly in the passing game. Too many handling errors, wayward offloads, and mistimed passes point to a lack of rhythm and understanding between players. This kind of disconnection stems from inconsistent selection, and it's not something that can be fixed in a few training sessions. If not addressed soon, it could become a real Achilles heel in tighter contests. In summary, while the win over Argentina is a step in the right direction, it doesn't mask the deeper issues within the All Black squad. Billy Proctor's role needs a serious review. Rieko Ioane deserves a clear and strategic role, whether that's in the midfield or on the wing. But most critically, the All Blacks must rebuild their depth, particularly in the back row and back three, if they are to retain their status as a world-class side. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the New Zealand Rugby channel so you won't miss any top matches or the latest news. Catch you later.